back for the final
We
time.
back.
Well, not the final time, final session of recording.
We're ending it here. We're
Yeah,
not
we're
going
ending
any
it here.
further.
We're like 4, 6 weeks away
6 weeks, yeah.
from Mania, but fuck it.
Disregard the
It's
fact
done.
that we have it all written.
We just did that for fun, preparing for stuff. Who knows what? Uh,
It'll be released whenever I'm back from serving the country.
all right. Let's get it over with. God damn it. The show starts off with a recap of the Women's Iron Survivor match. This then brings out Roxanne Perez. She goes to the ring, gets a mic, and says, "That was one hell of a match on Saturday, wasn't it? I'll be honest, I didn't see that ending coming, and I was fully prepared to face one person at WrestleMania. But two, that shocked me. But I guess it shouldn't have when you have two women as tough as Rhea and Julia. Of course, of course they would find a way out of there as winners. And respect to the other women in the match as well. Chelsea, I hope you're recovering well. You took quite a beating. But this is it. This is WrestleMania. I'm about to spend one whole year as champion. It's been quite a year. The company has lined them all up for me, and I knocked them all down. And at WrestleMania, it's gonna be the same story. It doesn't matter who the hell you put in front of me. I'm the best in the world. No one is on my level. This brings out Julia. She comes out with a strut. She's happy to be heading to WrestleMania. She grabs a mic and says, "Rox, you have to stop calling yourself the best in the world. It's only gonna make it worse for you when I pin you in the middle of the ring and win that title off of you." She's about to continue when she gets cut off by Roxanne's Rhea's music. Rhea comes out and says, "That's funny because we all know that it's going to be me who comes out on top at Mania and that I'm the best in the world." "You're the best in the world? Remind me who has pinned you 3 times, Rhea." "Me." "Okay, you got lucky, Julia. We all know that. Also, if you're the best in the world, Rhea, didn't you lose that title when I pinned you at WrestleMania to win this championship last year? I feel like it's only fair that I'm considered the best in the world now." "Did you forget how that match went, Roxanne? I was kicking your ass the majority of it. I made one mistake and it cost me. It won't happen again. Trust me." "Rhea," Julia says, "you're not the best in the world. This whole year has been a disaster for you. You couldn't even beat Chelsea for the US Championship. I mean, congrats. You went to the finals. Uh, you went to the finals. But the finals of the Women's US Championship tournament. But come on, you can't think you're on my level. That's just disrespectful to me." Rhea smiles, and then she just headbutts Julia. Julia falls over. Rox just leaves the ring as soon as she sees this and starts walking to the back. Rhea starts yelling at Julia, "Does it feel like I'm on your level now?" She picks her up, hits her with the riptide. She goes outside. She uncovers the mat on the outside to expose the concrete. She brings Julia outside and hits a riptide onto the concrete. The doctors come out to check on her. Rhea admires her work. We cut to commercial. We come back. We have this match. I don't think it's a number one contenders match. Could be. No, I don't think so. Not yet. Uh, Gunther and Ludwig win. And we go backstage. Roman is frantically looking around, asking people, "Have you seen Carmelo? What about Punk?" That's when I come up to him and say, "I hear you've been asking about Punk and Mello. This can't happen again. I can't have you guys destroy this arena for your beef. You will not get into an altercation with either of them, or there will be consequences. Do you understand me?" I'm not gonna lie. I don't give a damn what you say. I'm gonna do what I know is right. And if you won't help me, then you'll have a target on your back too. Roman walks away as I am low key scared. We cut to Finn Balor backstage when he walks into Mello's locker room. He says, "Man, I warned you. You should have left Roman alone. You would be on your way to WrestleMania right now if you had just left Roman alone." "Yeah, well, I didn't. I can't change the past, but I can get even. Roman is going to pay for what he cost me. I would have wiped the floor with AJ. It wouldn't be that easy of a fight, kid. He's one of the greatest of all time. He's an old delusional man. He thinks he's still his prime. Me versus him would have been nothing but net. Well, what are you doing now? Well, what are you gonna do now? I'm gonna find Roman and I'm gonna kick his ass. Mello gets up and leaves. Finn just shakes his head in a disappointed manner as he says, I hope you know what you're doing, kid. Then we get Phyraxian versus the club, and Phyraxian pick up the victory here. We cut to my office once again, and we see Bianca and Jada sitting there, and I tell them, great job the other week. Listen, WrestleMania is coming up, and I want to get as many people on the card as possible. That way, everyone gets their pay-per-view bonus. So I'm going to be sending 2 teams for the Women's Tag Team Championship. And there are 2 qualifier matches next week. And you, oh, there you go. And you too are in a qualifier match next week. That's what I meant. Uh, oh my God, thank you. We really appreciate this opportunity, Bianca says. Don't thank me. Don't thank me. Yeah. You have some tough competition in front of you. In 2 weeks. Oh, I guess it's in 2 weeks. I knew that was wrong. In 2 weeks, you'll be facing Lita and Trish, and also Michin and Zelina in a triple threat tag match. I know that's tough competition, but I believe in you two. We won't let you down. Jada chimes in. I know you won't. I'm giving you another match tonight just to get you more ring time together to build up chemistry. And I could give you another match next week. Fuck, I hit the button. Uh, I hit enter and my fucking page went down. Where the fuck was I? I could give you another match next week if you want. We'll take it. Any chance to build up our chemistry up is something we need to do. I shake their hands as they leave. As they leave, we see Roddy coming toward my office. He's about to enter when Obo walks up to him and says, I've been on this brand for far too long without a title. And given that I can't go for your boss and your WrestleMania schedule looks wide open, I'll be seeing you around, Roddy. Oh, and make sure you keep an eye on what I'm about to do tonight. Let it serve as a warning. Obo walks off, and Roddy walks to my office where he says, okay, I need therapy or something. I blew all my money again. I thought I fixed it after last time, but I guess not. Well, Roddy, I'm glad you are seeking help, but that's not my department. You gotta go. I actually have no idea where you have to go. I can look into that for you. Is that all you need? No, actually, given that I blew all my money, I desperately need a WrestleMania match. I need that bonus. I can probably ask for an extension on my mortgage next month. Dude, fine, you'll get a match of Mania, but it'll be ugly. I was telling Bianca and Jada that I want as many people on the show as possible. So how about this? We have you versus 5 other men at WrestleMania for your IC championship. Fuck. Fine, I'll do it. The paycheck better be good. Oh, Roddy, don't worry. That pay-per-view bonus is gonna be 5 times as strong as it usually is. What? Oh my God! I can straight up pay off my mortgage with that amount of cash. Well, congrats. We'll just start the qualifiers next week, and I'll see you soon. I have to speak to the Undisputed Era tonight as well. We then get a DIY promo package saying that next week in their tag team championship match, they are going to spoil the Undisputed Era's plans. They are about to take the titles off of them and walk into WrestleMania as tag team champions. We get Oba versus LA Knight. Oba wins Law. Woo. We then enter the Undisputed Era locker room. Cole is fucking playing Candy Crush on his phone, and Bobby and Kyle are playing 2K in the background. And Roddy's just counting the amount of tiles on the roof. They are all bored. That's when there's a knock on the door. Cole rushes to answer it, and I come in and say, "Hello, everyone. I have news." "About what?" says Kyle. "Well, it's about Randy. I owe you guys an apology. The footage showed that none of you were involved in the attack, as I had previously assumed, so I am sorry that I accused you fellas of attacking him." "I told you we didn't do it, man. But you didn't believe us for some reason," says Cole. "Well, you were telling the truth. Again, I apologize. Well, that's all I wanted to come to say." I start to leave when Cole says, "Wait, do you have any leads?" "Nope. We don't even know how the person entered the arena." "Damn, what the hell?" "Well, look, man, we're all bored as hell in here. We feel like zoo animals just being kept in cages. Can we have a match tonight? And by we, I mean Roddy." "Me? Why me?" "Well, Roddy, you had a job to do a few weeks ago and got attacked by Randy before you could do it. You still have to take out Finn. We're at war, man. Let's do it." "All right, fine, I'll do it." "All right, then, I'll get the match set up for tonight. Good luck, gentlemen." And Bianca Jada win this match. Who would have thought? Uh, and after that match, Wade Barrett says that they are receiving word that there is a massive disturbance backstage. We cut to catering and we see Mello, Roman, and Punk all going at each other. Mello's being choked out while Roman is being oh, oh Mello's being choked out by Roman while Roman is being choked out by Punk. Then security starts coming in to separate them all. Mello gets taken Mello gets taken near the food. He grabs an apple and launches it. It hits Roman right in the eye. Roman yells in pain. Punk can be seen laughing. He then gets hit by with a banana that goes straight into his mouth. Punk starts choking on it. Now we see Roman laughing as they all get dragged away by security. Uh, Main event time. Finish Shin and JD with him ringside. They're ready for the numbers game to get out of hand, and eventually it does. Redragon come out, and so does Cole. They fight Shin and JD at ringside. Finn almost loses the match to this disturbance. However, he's able to withstand it all, and Finn gets the job done. Finn picks up the victory. But as soon as the bell rings, Cole enters the ring with his title. Finn turns around and sees him too late. Cole blasts Finn over the skull with it. JD and Shin are completely wiped out. Redragon put JD through the announce table. Shin is sent through the barricade when Roddy and Redragon all rush him through it. Finn is in the ring alone with Cole. He's completely out of it. He's laid out, face down. Cole picks him up to his knees and hits him with the Shining Wizard. He grabs the title and pushes it against downed Balor's face and says, "You will never be good enough to hold this. You might as well give up now." The show ends with Finn laid out and with a small pool of blood, of his own blood, forming around him.
Welcome to SmackDown. This is the first show for SmackDown in the build towards WrestleMania. We've gone through the stuff at the beginning of the show. I don't think we told you to like and subscribe and all that, but do all that stuff. Comment down below, hype the video, other things.
They
With
didn't
that
get this
said,
far. They're not going to hear that.
if they do, it's here for them as a reminder. See that little subscribe button down below sparkle a little bit because I think whenever you say subscribe, it kind of like highlights things. Anyways, let's move on to the show. AJ Styles opens the show and speaks about moving past Ethan Page and moving on to WrestleMania, where he is set to face Kevin Owens. AJ says, "Kevin, both of us have had pretty good years. You started off your run on SmackDown hot. You won the US title and you're winning week in and week out. While you were winning, I was still finding my way, and as I found my way, you started to lose yours. You ran into Braun Breaker and seemingly lost focus on your mission here. As you lost focus, I found mine. You see, this year alone, I have won the Tag Team Championships not once but twice. I won the King of the Ring, I won the Elimination Chamber, and I became World Heavyweight Champion. Kevin, plain and simple, I am on a roll this year. So you may have lucked out in the Iron Survivor and got yourself a world title match at WrestleMania, but don't forget who you're about to share the ring with. We then cut backstage and we see Dakota Kai is making her way towards the ring when she gets stopped by Io. Io asks, how the fuck okay. She asks Dakota what she is doing, and Dakota says, well, there's an open challenge tonight for the women's IC title, and I'm going for it. Io says, and why do you think you deserve that title shot? Dakota says, I don't have time for this, and pushes Io to the side and makes her way down to the ring. We then move into the opening match, Jade Cargill versus Dakota Kai for the women's IC title. Dakota has Jade set up for the chiropractor when Io Sky rushes down to the ring and hops up on the apron and starts yelling at Dakota. Dakota moves over and starts arguing with Io when Jade gets up behind Dakota, picks her up from behind and hits her with Jaded. Jade then covers Dakota for the 3, retaining her IC title. Sami Zayn is then seen walking around backstage when he gets confronted by Drew McIntyre. Drew says, so you think it's fine for you to low blow people, huh? Sammy tries to speak, but Drew just cuts him off. Drew says, Sammy, I'm not here for your excuses. I know we have our history, and I'm planning on writing a new chapter in that book tonight. I want you in that ring, because the Sammy I once knew was a warrior. He went through hell with me just to prove his worth. Now I can see that warrior you once were has turned into a little bitch. And Drew walks off. Street Profits are then interviewed about the vacant tag titles. Montez says, "Look, we're the ones who beat Ethan Page to cause those titles to be vacated. So really, we should be asked. So we shouldn't be asked what are we going to do about it. It should be when Biggie. The question should be is when Biggie is going to give us those title belts." Motor City Machine Guns then walk up and thank Street Profits for beating Page and taking the belts off the Phenomenal Egos. But no one should just be handed the tag titles. You should earn them. Montez looks at Dawkins and says, is this man challenging us right now? Shelley walks up and says, you know, there's a perfectly fine ring out there to see who's worthy of being champions. And both pairs make it down to the ring. Street Profits versus Motor City Machine Guns. Street Profits pick up the win. Mercedes Moné is then seen walking into her locker room proudly wearing her title. When she walks in, Naomi and Tamina are arguing with one another. Mercedes says, would you two just stop it? I mean, come on. You two have been out of sync ever since you lost those tag titles. I know, Tamina, in your heart, you felt like what you were doing was right, and Naomi, what you did was just petty, but I understand why you did it. Can we just move past it because WrestleMania is just a few weeks away, and if you two don't get your act together, then you won't be on the card at all. Naomi and Tamina look at each other, and it seems like tensions have calmed for now. We then see Ricky Saints come down to the ring and celebrate winning the U.S. title. Ricky says, the start of the revolution has arrived. You see, I'm a man of my word. I said that I would become U.S. champion, and that's exactly what I did at Fastlane. Now, some of you out there are probably looking at me like I stole something, like I didn't deserve to win that match. Well, to each and every one of you, I say, Jacob Fatu's music hits. Jacob says, Ricky, don't get it twisted. You did steal that belt from me at Fastlane. I did all the work and you just weaseled your way back into the ring to take the pin. So now I plan on taking back what should have never left my shoulder. Jacob makes his way down to the ring, and as he enters, Ricky slides out, and Omos then comes out. Omos says, at Fastlane, it took both Jacob and Ricky working together to take him down, and if it were a one-on-one match, then we all know the result would have been very different. Ricky says, ooh, this is perfect. Jacob, since I know you want a shot at the champ, and Omos, I'm sure you want a shot at the champ too. How about the two of you face off right now, and next week I'll give the winner a title shot. Jacob doesn't seem pleased by this, but Omos makes his way down to the ring anyways, and so does a referee, making this match Jacob Fatu versus Omos. Towards the end of the match, Bloodline Wolfpack come out and distract Omos, allowing Jacob to knock him off his feet and hit a series of moonsaults to pick up the win. After the match, Bloodline Wolfpack beat down on Omos, but one by one they get thrown out until we see a size up between Bronson Reed and Omos. They brawl for a bit, but Omos wins the exchange by throwing Bronson out of the ring. After this, Big E calls Chemical X and Jade Cargill into his office to discuss the ongoing investigation and who the masked attacker was. He says he has some videos to show them all. As he starts showing the videos, Lyra Valkyria walks into the room and says, "Hey, what are we all doing?" She then turns to the TV, and as she turns to the TV, it shows Lyra putting on a mask and heading down a hallway that says Ring above it, um, obviously signifying that she was the masked attacker. Everyone in the room turns toward Lyra, who stumbles over her words, and Biggie says, "Hold on, there's a little bit more to the video." The cameras continue to roll, and it shows Lyra coming through the tunnel, into the crowd, sneaking her way down to the ring, and doing what she did, fully cementing that she was the masked attacker. Lyra tries to explain herself, but Charlotte says, "I don't want your excuses. You cost me my reign with the belt, and next week you're going to pay." Charlotte then storms out, and Tatum just looks at Lyra and cries as she walks out with Charlotte. Jade then steps to Lyra and says, "Once Charlotte is done with you, I'm next." And then she also walks out. Liv and Raquel are walking backstage, chatting about being the women's tag team champions. They come across Paige and Ruby Soho, who congratulate them on retaining the titles and say, "The mark of a great tag team is by how they hold themselves as champion. And in my opinion, the best way to hold yourself as champion is to defend the titles. So how about tonight we get a crack at those belts?" Liv looks at Raquel and says, "Okay, we'll see you in the ring." They head down to the ring. Forgot to do this match. They go down to the ring for the women's tag titles. The Outcast versus Liv and Raquel. Liv and Raquel retain their tag team championships. Uh, Cora Jade is then interviewed about her match at WrestleMania, changing from facing AJ Lee to now facing Mercedes Moné, a woman who has seemingly had her number. Cora says, "It would have been a dream match of mine to face AJ at WrestleMania, but to have the chance to finally conquer somebody who, like you said, has had my number would be just as rewarding." Mercedes then comes into frame and says, "Cora, don't fool yourself. When we face off at WrestleMania for my women's championship, the result will stay the same, and I'll put you right beside your friend in the hospital." Cameras then cut over and we see Swerve Strickland walking around backstage when he gets confronted by Sami Zayn. Sami says, "Swerve, I know you're just trying to make a name for yourself, but a couple of weeks ago you cost me my match against Seth Rollins. Now I know you're going to try to say that I wasn't the target, but that doesn't matter. So after I'm done dealing with Drew tonight, you're next on the list." Sami then heads down towards the ring for the main event tonight, Drew McIntyre versus Sami Zayn. Towards the end of the match, we see the referee get knocked down. Uh, Swerve comes out. Swerve comes out to attack Sami. Seth comes out to attack Swerve. Drew gets caught up in the mess. Sami hits a haluva kick onto Drew, and he covers Drew, picking up the 1, 2, 3. Sami Zayn wins, and that is SmackDown.